This episode of the GameOverGreggy Show is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a landing page, a beautiful gallery, a professional blog, or an online store, it's all included with your Squarespace website. And yes, if you've never heard me say it, ladies and gentlemen, we built the original kindafunny.com with Squarespace. And like I always say, we are dumb. Each and every one of us. Not you guys, each one of the kind of funny guys, each and every one of us. Very dumb. So if we, in a time of quitting our jobs, not knowing what we're doing, trying to tell Kevin to go back into the woods, we can't afford him. If we could build a site with Squarespace, you know you can too. So start your free trial today at squarespace.com and enter the offer code KINDAFUNNY to get 10% off your first purchase. Nick.
Yes.
What's your topic?
My topic comes from Patreon.
Oh, patreon.com/kindafunny where people can go and back us and get the topics right on the show.
I assume it's this right here, right?
The one that says Patreon topic,
Greg
Nick?
printed this out for me. He was like, I have your topic for you. I'll print it out for you. And they didn't give it to me until right now. The first time I ever went tent camping was with my husband.
Who did this? Who put this one in?
In July. This is at Miss Movies. At Miss Movies. Brianne. Hi, what's up? It gives us a lot of support on Patreon and gives us a lot of topics, which is great. I think we did our topic last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Kevin, give me Nick's one shot so we can say thank you to Miss Movies.
Thank you, Miss Movies. You're my only hope. I was 29 years old and 7 months pregnant with my first child at the time. Our campsite was in Yosemite, inside the park but outside of the hub, so we needed to drive in during the day to sightsee. At the time, there was a construction happening on the main road into the heart of the park. What we didn't know is that beginning at 10 p.m. and lasting until 4 a.m., large gravel trucks would pass directly by our campsite every 3 to 5 minutes going up and down the road. It was the equivalent of camping on a freeway. Needless to say, I didn't sleep for 2 nights, and on the third day, I pulled a true Beverly Hills move and booked us a room at the Wawana Hotel for the remainder of our stay. Do you have any memorable camp stories or memorable summer camp stories that you can share with us? Thanks.
I want to stress again, I love how much context Miss Moody gives.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Very illustrative.
You want to see it again?
To conclude, what is your favorite color?
I can truncate that a little bit.
Sure.
Would you like me to
You're
truncate that?
going to give me another read? Give me another read of what the topic might be.
Let me try it again, guys. This topic comes from patreon.com/kindoffunnygames where you can go to support us. The question comes from Miss Movies, at Miss Movies. Do you have any memorable camp stories or memorable summer camp stories that you can share with us? Is the question.
I love it, Miss Moody.
Context is important.
No, we're just yanking her chain,
No, it's
having
fantastic.
some fun.
Prologue. In case you didn't have one, if you were searching, she kind of gave you a launch pad.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I love that.
Oh, yeah. That was that.
Well, no, she gives us
bad.
enough context so
Truck
that if we
camping.
were just all like, no, that's still a topic. That took long enough.
got enough.
You got
That's
a
true.
story out of it.
Have you guys been camping?
I'm an Eagle Scout. I'm full of camping stories. Full of them.
I am the opposite. I went to the only camping experience, close camping experience I've ever had in my entire life. 6th grade camp. It was like 3 days. On the first day, I called my mom and said, "You have to come pick me up. I don't like anything about this." Didn't like it. There was like they made us climb a rock. We had to catch like a butterfly. It was hot outside. I did not like anything about it, and that was the last time I went camping.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, the other extreme, you went camping all the time.
Yeah, I was. I will not tell you the story about how I was on the island of Catalina and was almost gored by a boar that was then shot by a sniper rifle and a guy in a helicopter.
What the fuck?
Why wouldn't you tell us
in
this
between the two camping trips? Because this is in the summer, so we went back in the summer. We're like, "Are the boars still here?" And they're like, "No, we killed them all."
Oh my God.
We went up above Catalina.
Is that why did they give you the medal there? The little eagle
I
medal?
wish, yeah, like antler dodging or something. That would have been a sweet merit badge. Is what they're called.
Merit badge, excuse me.
They should have been called medals.
bullet-
I would have worked
it would have been the
for 'em.
bullet time area.
I went on a long term, which means you don't hike and then back to the car. You keep going and going and going and going, and you, like everything that you have, all your food, everything is all in your backpack. And woke up in the middle of the night. My tent had collapsed because it was hailing, and so all the scouts got out and we're like, "Okay, we're all gonna go to the lodge because it's just like our tents can't handle this." But you have bear bags. Anybody know what bear bags are for?
When you catch a bear,
you
you keep them in the
hoist
bag.
the food up in a bear bag so
okay,
bears
okay.
can't get at it. Because if you're just like, "Oh, put it in that tree there," they'll get it. If you put it in, you're like, "Oh, put it in my car," the bear has no problem with car doors. They'll rip it right off. And we're like, "Oh no, with the rain and everything, maybe the bear bags fell." So me and 2 other scouts went to go check in the bear bags. Bear bags are fine. All the other scouts have now headed back towards the lodge. So we go running across this open field, going back towards the lodge. Lightning hits, gotta be 100 yards, like right behind us. Totally go blind because it's this massive white light. Fall to the ground, get up, go back to the camp. All the scouts are freaking out because they were all on the porch, saw the whole thing happen in front of us. And one guy went to take off his jacket, and the zipper had melted. The zipper had fused
Jesus.
in his jacket.
And he's
Because
still
the
wearing that
current of
jacket
electricity
today.
went to the ground and went through. Because we all fell on the ground. Is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have your hands on the ground. So if a charge goes into you, it doesn't like go straight up to your head. So it actually like goes back into the earth.
I would have
And,
jumped. I would have tried to jump.
Got a nice little jolt.
You see it coming. It's like,
But I mean, the boars are sniper rifles, though. I mean, that's
no, that's crazy.
That's another
Is that
story.
because there was a overrun in the boar population that year? Or is
I
that,
think-
is
yeah,
that
I
why
think they
do that?
just-
Yeah, they have to do that sometimes.
they
do
had
that
mild
with, like,
problems.
wolves
We're
and
finally
shit in
like,
Alaska.
you know, it was like if there were scouts on one side of the road or boars on the other side of the road.
Got it. Where's the car
automatic
hit?
car
Yeah.
swerve?
Which one is the cat?
I
Which
am
one has
thoroughly
the
impressed.
cat?
Like, not only did you just
I didn't do anything.
annihilate
cool.
that topic.
I should have been. Yeah.
That's
But,
crazy.
But I got all sorts of fun camping stories.
Do you still
Camping
camp
rules.
as an adult today?
I went camping last week in the Grand Canyon, which I'd never been ever.
Oh, wow.
So finally got to the canyon.
Yeah, I've never had a desire for it. I just watched, and this reminds me, like, because she was camping in Yosemite. I just watched it.
Heavyweights.
What's that?
You just watched Heavyweights.
No, I did not. Is that a David Arquette film? Please tell me David Arquette.
No, it's that Fat Camp movie where they're all holding the same
Ben
jump
Stiller.
on the back.
Oh, Jesus
I never watched
God.
it as a kid. It hit too close to home.
No,
You should. It's fantastic.
I watched, and I recommended it for Kevin, and Kevin liked it as well. A documentary on Netflix called Valley Uprising about the rock climbing in Yosemite and how that came about from basically like the late 50s, early 60s on to what it has evolved to today. And it made me actually want to go to Yosemite, which is not that far from here, and not camp necessarily, but at least see it once with my own eyes, and then go back to that hotel she was talking about because it's a very nice.
Yosemite's beautiful.
Is it?
Yosemite's awesome.
You been to Yosemite?
Oh yeah, my mom is a hippie from
Okay.
the Bay Area. Yeah, I've been to
It's
Yosemite.
like, what, 13? She
They
brings
got,
you out
they got
there, you
married.
drop
My mom and dad
acid?
got married at Yosemite. It was
That's
just
awesome.
them, the person that married them, and a deer. So that was a thing.
Did they bring the deer?
was the
No,
witness.
they didn't bring the deer. Was
Did
just
they-
there.
Brought a tooth over and hit it on the marriage license.
Did they invite more deer, and that was the only deer that showed
The
up?
only deer
or-
that showed up.
The other
They
deers
were
couldn't
pretty
make it from
bummed about
Florida.
it. Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
bad. I've been camping way more times than I would have ever liked to.
I
Which
gotta
means
imagine
probably
you
3 or 4
hate
times.
camping. I gotta imagine you hate it.
Oh, it's the absolute worst.
It's the worst.
Nothing about it is like, Tim, this is a selling point for
This
you.
is something you're gonna be
like,
into.
All of it's horrible. I mean, the worst thing was that there was one time we went, and this is like, I've told this story before, but I need to reiterate.
Mm-hmm.
We were like camping in Yosemite, but Kevin and his mom and them actually had a hotel, and eventually I convinced the people I was with to go let me stay with them. So I went to do that, and then the raccoon.
I think
Grandma
you got it the
Miller's
other way
raccoon?
around. You guys had the hotel.
No.
Your mom had the hotel for sure.
Me and my mom were in a tent for a night.
No, because Spencer
Absolutely.
burnt his foot, and then we had to go to your mom's hotel.
Not true.
I hate it when they
we
fight.
were in a tent.
Brothers.
I had to spend a night in a tent with my mom.
Okay.
Because my
Sounds
brother
cool.
was with him, and we were meeting him later. So I had to then go to this hotel, and Kevin's there, and he fell asleep with a bag of potato chips on his belly because he's Kevin.
Wasn't the first
No.
time, won't be the last time.
There's multiple
Fell asleep
corrections on this story.
On the floor because we didn't have enough beds because we weren't originally like gonna
Okay,
have that
he was
many
on
people.
the floor
That's
with
what we're
potato
arguing?
chips on his
Next
belly.
to the potato chips that were next to the
But
trash.
on his belly.
Were you eating potato chips out of the trash?
No, he's lying because it does end with the raccoon on my belly. They were just next to the.
I'm sorry. Let's slow the story down a little bit, and I need you to start from at least the midway point.
So what?
Did Kevin commune with a raccoon? Like what? What happened?
Yeah, so his mom left the sliding door open like a little. Like
Yeah.
it was one of those like just to let some air in.
No,
But
this is back when they
raccoons-
smoked.
Smart as fuck.
Raccoons can just kind of like
Oh, they're
you
smart.
know.
Sure.
Oh,
So
what's
they-
up?
this little motherfucker got in there.
They can open it. I mean, they have.
Oh,
hands, like,
they-
they
they-
have
they-
opposable
those are
thumbs.
scary
They're
Like
ready to
smart.
go.
we hear some noises, and this is back in the like Jackass days, early Tim days, where I'm just running around with the handycam at all times. Obviously, this thing has night vision, so I turn the night vision on because I hear some stuff, and I like go to like look at Kevin, and there's just this raccoon on Kevin. He just looks
Now,
over,
okay,
and
let
see
me,
his eyes.
let me pause right there. Was Kevin awake? And was
No.
Kevin also enjoying the potato chips off of his own stomach? Because I imagine that the raccoon's sitting there and he's just feeding it one, and I get one, and he gets one, and I get one.
Nah, it was a horrifying experience.
Did you kick
So
it?
what happened? Yeah.
I don't know. Eventually, like I was
Some
more
say the
excited
raccoon
about
is still on his
filming it.
chest to this day.
I mean, it was one of the biggest, upsets of my life because Kevin was fine, obviously, but then we accidentally taped over the footage, which is like I felt bad for a year after that. Where I'm just like, I failed my life. That was the
really
best
did.
thing.
So
that's
what?
ever
But okay,
happened
so you
because-
film him, you
That's
see
not
it,
how
you
that
know what
happened.
happens. Well, tell me.
Close
Yeah,
enough.
tell me some. What happens?
What happened is, I believe my mom was the one that like saw that there was a raccoon on my chest.
Ay, Dios
and she
míos.
was like, Tim, get the camcorder. And you guys filmed it, but you guys got it too late, and you guys just got it leaving.
That's
The
not.
thing-
What was the music playing?
The thing that got accidentally erased was
that's
the pillow thing.
Kevin's memory's so funny.
It's
It's
accurate.
hilarious.
Yours is wrong.
Absolutely not.
On that same trip, I fed a squirrel for a really long time.
That is
fat
true.
Squirrel.
And then the
We
squirrel
do have
imploded.
video of that to this day.
He was so big.
Was this just an endless bag of potato chips?
It's
He's
Kevin.
just
Kevin
feeding all the animals.
always has the snacks. There was another time in 5th grade when we went on our like 5th grade camping trip or whatever.
Outdoor ed.
We had to like hike up a mountain, and then I kicked a rock off the mountain and my shoe flew off.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
rest of the trip, one shoe.
Yep.
That really sucked. So I was like, fuck camping. Then there was another time when I was a little bit older. I think it was in 8th grade. Me and all my like even like current friends went out because one of them was like, let's go camping. That's gonna be fucking fun. It absolutely wasn't, except we all brought our Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and we hadn't played Yu-Gi-Oh for
Crushed it.
years at that point, and we were all just fucking playing. That's all we did all night. It was pitch black outside. So that time was kind of fun, but I still don't want to do it again.
We can't like we started with a pop-up camper that you put in the back of Dad's truck, you know, and you'd park it and you crank it up and you had the
the bomb.
thing or whatever, and then eventually had an RV. And does that count as camping? I don't know. Okay.
Was that when you were lost at Disney World?
camping? Yeah.
Yeah, the RV is when I got lost at Disney World. There's a lot of these stories have been told tangentially.
I'm gonna have to get that one later.
Once we took the pop-up camper down to the steam show, Sandwich Fair, and then that's where I ate too much cherry pie and vomited into a bucket while sitting in the back of the pop-up camper. I believe that. If I'm lying, I'm dying, Colin. In that pop-up camper too, I'm just a little kid. I don't know, 5 we'll say or whatever. I remember my mom did something nice to me, and I'm like, I need to compliment her. Called her sexy. She's like, you don't know what that word means, do you? I'm like, nah, not really, not really. What? I'm trying to be helpful.
More notes.
I'm trying to be a helpful son there. Take care. You know
when
what I
we
mean?
discover the bodies, this will all
For
make
when
sense.
Greg called his mom sexy.
I believe I've told the stories of going to Yogi Bear
Jimmy
National
Kennedy.
Park, right? Amboy, Illinois, up there, Jellystone Campground, right? You remember these stories? They come back to you.
yeah.
We used to catch the tadpoles, fucking buckets and buckets full of tadpoles. What are we gonna do with these things? We don't know.
Grow 'em into
Tadpole
frogs and then step on 'em.
Saw Wayne's World in one of like these. They do the movies at night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget this, Tim. I'm seeing Wayne's World. Had a billion Cokes. Had to pee, but didn't want to miss any of Wayne's World. Right? Mm-hmm. It's not going the way you think, Kevin. And I go all the way through it. So you know how you gotta pee, and then it's just like you don't have to pee anymore. Now the pain is so intense. That's just life.
Yeah.
And then the movie ended, and we got up, and I had to walk back, like hunched over, because it hurt so much. And then I finally got into the RV, got to the toilet, and then I had to sit there for like 30 seconds warming everything up, getting this machine ready to run.
That's the worst is when you have to pee and it hurts a little bit because you held it in for so long and almost nothing comes out and you're like, what the and you have to give it about another 20 minutes and
Yeah.
then it's like, all right, like we're good and everything's
flow.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the Pearl Jam song was about.
Right, exactly.
So I like the outdoors, like especially as a kid. But I like day hiking and stuff like that. I've been camping, but I agree with Tim where it's like it's fun in your mind. I mean, there are people clearly that enjoy it really. My dad's one of those people too. My dad always would kid around. I have to tell stories about my dad because he's a funny dude where he's like, just give me what did he tell me and Dagan, my brother, where he was like, give me a matchbook, aluminum foil, and a knife and drop me in the woods. You'll never see me again or something like that. We're all like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, that's all I need. And I'm like, all right, Dad. So he likes doing those kinds of things. But honestly, like, and it's kind of sad, like, my camp or day camp or like summer camp stories are like one of them is when I was in private school, we would go for a week to this thing called Nature's Classroom, which was like I lived in New Hampshire and we'd go to like upstate New Hampshire, like Laconia or something like that, and go to this thing, and I went and I fucking hated it. So the second year I like demanded to stay, and like 4 kids like in 8th grade at that time like all stayed, and I just played Apple II games for a week, so that was cool. But the other
A little bit of
the
that Chips Challenge.
yeah, Chip Chat. Yeah, I played like Oregon Trail and like
Math
Jeopardy, where it had like it has like 25
You
questions.
just memorize it all.
Yeah.
You're having the perfect game.
And then I'm trying to impress the teacher. Like, look how fucking smart I am. But honestly, and it's kind of a sad thing. Like one of my camping memories, I been between 3rd and 4th grade. I had left Long Island to go live with my mom in Maine for a few years, and she like worked. She was worked at Delta, so
went to this summer camp, and it's like the only time in my life, like I was kind of always flew under the radar, like in school, like I wasn't a popular kid, but I was just kind of like normal person, you know. And it was the only time in my life I remember getting picked on like every day. That's like
really?
yeah, that's what I remember about that experience. Like there's this kid, this blonde piece of shit that
Son of a bitch.
probably like didn't pan out very well. That used to pick on me like every day. And that's what I remember about that experience. Like I don't remember anything else like that whole summer, but that kid like busting my balls.
Do
all
you
the time.
fantasize sometimes that you go back and just punch him in his fucking face?
No,
I'm fantasizing
I
about that right now
fantasize sometimes about just seeing him now and him being a fucking complete loser. That's
Would you be surprised if he was like Forbes Fortune 500?
I'd be shocked.
And he's a really nice guy.
He was missing a
Found
chromosome.
God.
I would be shocked if he even graduated high school. To be
Interesting.
perfectly honest with you. So that's what I remember like about those kinds of things. But I love hiking. Like I really love being in the woods. Like there's something about the woods on Long Island. Like we have great pine barrens, and in New Jersey too, where near where my beach house is. Like we have great pine barrens, and like just going in there. And I worked at a thing called Post Morrow Foundation on Long Island, which is a land trust. Where they buy a ton of land, because Long Island's getting like really overrun, and like these guys like try to buy land and be like, just get the fuck out of here. There's a lot of NIMBYism on Long Island, which is fine. And
I don't know what that means.
No, I have no idea.
NIMBY is a acronym for not in my backyard. And so like people that are like just stay the fuck off the island. You have no reason to be here. And there's these guys, these very nice people that my best friend Mike's mom works for.
Mike Pope?
Yep. And I worked there, and it was what was so cool about it is like I would just be in the woods all day. That's all I had to do was like go in the woods and like clean up trails and do all that kind of stuff. I was like, this is just
Lucky to
sublime.
get Lyme disease.
No, I used to get poison ivy all the time, which is like. Is there even poison ivy out here? Because like I don't see it like on.
We got poison
We got
California,
poison.
for sure,
Oh, great,
yeah.
and poison sumac and shit like that. Like on, dude, it is on Long Island. It is everywhere. Like it is everywhere.
You're at the 7-Eleven, you grab a bag of fucking Cheetos out, and it
It's
just
behind
hits you.
it.
I used to get it fucking constantly when I was a kid, and we had an in-ground pool, so like I used to dive in like when I had it, and like the chlorine helped you, and I used to take oatmeal baths, like you put like that you'd buy to like, and there's this stuff called what is it called? I want to say terrible, but that's the ant shit. It's this like stuff that you buy that you can like rub on yourself, and then like basically like put your hands like and weed and stuff like that, and like you don't get it. So anyway, I lived in fear of that shit as well. So I tried to stay out of there. But when I'm in the woods here, I don't notice it. I see it when I'm back home. Like it's when I was at the wedding in Connecticut for Mike Pope, in the middle of nowhere, in like Cornwall, Connecticut. We were going into the woods. It was like a very like Game of Thrones. Like I told you guys, it was like he like literally shot a flaming arrow into this bonfire to start it. Like it was all game. Like his best man, our friend Corey, wore like the king's
hand of the
king.
thing or whatever. And so we had to go into the woods to get brush and all that kind of stuff. And it was my first time in years being in like an East Coast, like Northeast woods. And I saw everyone. I'm like, motherfucker. I washed my hands so many times, like totally in fear, because I knew how easily I got it. So
No thanks.
But anyway, long story short, I got picked on. I hated nature's classroom, and I mastered Jeopardy on that.
When you talk about summer camp, I think of I used to the village of Glen Ellen through the Park District had like a day camp, summer camp thing, which I don't know. It's not not you're going somewhere to stay, but every morning you get dropped off and you would do activities, and then in the afternoon you always go to the pool and just hang out at the pool all day, and then they'd bring you back, and then your parents pick you up. And there was a guy there, the opposite of what you're saying. A friend of mine, I don't remember his name anymore because we were summer camp friends that you saw every summer camp, called me Spud, but said it in a loving way, and I liked it. I like being called Spud. So Tim, you can call me Spud if you want.
Okay.
To. All right.
Can I
Thank
call
you.
you Spud?
Consider it.
No. Yes.
Okay.
You can call me Spud too.
Great.
Everyone can call me Spud.
Can we call Kevin Spud?
he doesn't like that.
No, he doesn't like being called potato. It's different. That's a different thing.
Spud's a
Spud
different
is
thing.
potato.
Spud's a step
like a
up.
cute potato.
One time when big old Jamie Kennedy was dropping me off, I got out of the car, and I was fighting about something dumb. I'm some dumb young kid. I leaned down and I slammed the door, and I didn't move my head fast enough. So the top of the door, the triangle, caught me on the side of my head and cut open my head. And I didn't notice it till hours later because it knocked my glasses off. Were the glasses real, Colin? No, they were from a box of cereal, and I wore them every day. Knocked the glasses off my head, and I noticed later that I had this blood on my head.
You would be such a different person if you had an older brother.
Yeah?
You know that?
Somebody would have reined me in.
Oh my God. Like if I'd have done that, my brother would have never, he would be still picking on me about that.
If I cut my head open?
Any of the shit you just said. Like me just randomly wearing glasses for no reason.
Well, you
Could
see
you
what it
imagine
was?
Matt Scarpino like allowing that to happen? No fucking
This
way.
was, of course, the
No
summer
way.
of Back to the Future 2, right?
Yeah.
So there was many cool sunglasses. that came with Cheerios.
Cool.
Now, little Greggy Miller did not like Cheerios, doesn't like cereal to begin with. You know that.
Yeah,
So
did not
I
know
was
that.
at an impasse on how to get these cool glasses they had. I wanted the Back to the Future glasses. Luckily, Poppy, big old Jamie Kennedy's dad, he ate Cheerios. So one day I went over there and he gave me his glasses, and they were the Dwayne Wayne, knock-up ones. And I was like, thanks. Went home, broke off the sunglasses part, filed down the plastic little things, and then I had fake glasses.
Thank you for the different world reference. by
No
the way.
problem. That's what I do for you. And then I had those
For
forever.
a second, I thought you said Dwayne Wade, and I was like,
That's what I
The
heard
basketball
too.
guy?
I don't think he was playing
like
back
Wayne
then.
Wayne.
I don't think he wears glasses.
Anyway, so then I had those, and then it was on a bus as part of the summer camp thing or whatever, where I was horsing around with some girl I remember, and she, not like in the sexual sense, Tim. Slow it
We
down.
know. Tim knows.
Thank you very much. And she kicked me or something and broke the glasses, and she broke down in tears because she thought, as your kid, these things must be worth $50. There's no way your parents are going to sue us or whatever. And I was like, no, they were never real. And she never talked to me again. She was so offended that I had lied all summer long about these glasses. But I knew one day I would need them, and I'd be ready for them, and here I am. They are real.
Wouldn't
They
surprise me if
also,
they
a lot of
weren't, though.
cicadas one summer. These guys, they show up every 15, 16 years or whatever.
Why?
These motherfuckers
Why do they
everywhere.
do that?
I don't know. Making noise when you catch them. It got to be a big thing because you know what a cicada is?
I do.
Big old motherfuckers. All right.
I know about them from Beetleborg.
Yeah, of course we catch them. I mean, they're everywhere and they're just harmless. And we're trying to be on the swings or whatever. These motherfuckers are there. And there was a big brouhaha because kids would bring them in. That just have cicadas. And then people are like, you can't bring in these cicadas anymore. And then, if I'm lying, I'm dying, Tim. Somehow a cicada got in my shirt. All right. So I technically ferried in this cicada and I got in trouble for it. And of course I broke down in tears pleading my case that I didn't know there was a cicada in my shirt. How can I be unjustly represented this way in this trial by combat?
You can't be held accountable for what's in your shirt.
Exactly.
Brandon, I'm so
not
happy you get to be here for Craig.
I like to think about
Falling
the
apart.
apocalypse when I'm camping. Because what if that happens?
No, it makes
what
sense.
if that happens? Power's gone. It's gone. Like none of us are doing anything on the internet anymore. It's gone. It's over. There's no more power. Everybody's got to grow their own food and everything. And then all these people that hate camping. They're, oh, I'm really dirty. And all these Eagle Scouts are like, later.
Yeah, you're gonna be good.
Fine.
I don't want to live in that world.
I always talk about this.
Well, you might
because
have to.
My wife.
Send the fucking automatic smart car to me. I want to.
Yes.
I
As
want
it
to
barrels through everyone and anything.
Driven by a cat.
I'm saving your life. This is for you.
Tim, I can't slow down. Please jump on.
I'm sorry. My wife and I talk about this a lot because we're huge fans of The Walking Dead, right? And obviously, first season of that, you're like, well, I would totally die. There's no possible way that I could live out near a rock quarry and sustain myself. I have a brother-in-law who lives in Lake Tahoe, and so the plan is steal a motorcycle because I know how to ride, because you don't want a
Hey.
car. Gotta have a motorcycle.
course.
It's only probably gonna take us. You figure there's a lot of cars blocking up the road, so it's maybe 6 hours to 8 hours. We can get enough gas. It's fine. And then he'll take care of the rest because he is like a man's man. He's the kind of guy that packs stuff onto a motorcycle, goes out for days, and then comes back and he's just a little sunburned. And maybe his arm's been broken for 5 days, but it doesn't matter because he's whatever. He's a firefighter, all this. So he knows how to do all this stuff. Guns, all that stuff. They go out and shoot things. So basically, my only responsibility to my wife at that point is just to get her to my brother-in-law. And then whatever he can do, whatever he wants to do, I mean, he can have her. It's fine. He can take her by the moonlight. It doesn't matter.
Isn't it her brother?
No. It's her sister's husband.
Thank you. I was
there you
I
go.
was right
Okay.
there with you. I was
That
like,
clears that
this
up.
seems.
No, I'm sorry. I guess technically that
It's
does not make
apocalypse.
him
There
my
are no
brother-in-law.
rules.
Yeah, no rules.
Sorry, that would make him my wife's brother-in-law. But I say
Got
it's
it.
my brother-in-law too because
Got it.
we're very close.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over
Sorry, I
Greggy
didn't know we
show.
were stopping. It's
No,
good.
no,
It's a good time
fine.
to stop.
Yeah, well, Brandon's got to go. He's got a plane to catch.
I gotta go too.
I'm out of here.
Where are you
Mobius.
gonna go?
I gotta go home and eat some beans.
If you didn't know, this is the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can toss us a few bucks and get each and every episode early, along with a bunch of exclusives, perks, and goodies. If you have no bucks to toss, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where the show's broken up topic by topic, day by day, until we post one big video and audio file for your listening pleasure. Brandon Jones, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I love these topics. These were great.
Everyone, of course, go to patreon.com/easyallies. Support him. They're struggling.
Aw.
Nobody's giving them any money.
know, yeah,
It's been
we're
a
really-
huge failure. They didn't expect it.
Just numbers dropping.
No, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
We love you guys.
Congratulations to you in your studio.
Thank you.
Yay.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.